The prospect of ending up in prison as a result of his criminal trials is definitely real, right? Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, the current frontrunner in the Republican race, could end up going to prison. But one of his former lawyers, who is very clearly not a fan of him anymore, Michael Cohen recently suggested that sending Donald Trump to prison would actually be a very bad idea, a very dangerous idea for the United States. Now, at first, I didn't quite understand that, right? Like, well, how is that bad for the country? Is he talking about because Trump supporters will become angry and violent and, go out there and riot? Well, I think that will happen, but that's not even what Cohen's talking about. Cohen actually has more mature fears, and I agree with him. Here's what Cohen had to say. He needs to be held accountable. Do I believe if it was anyone else that the individual would already be in jail? The answer is emphatically yes. But because he was president of the United States, and for 4 years, he was debriefed on a daily basis on our national security secrets, I personally, as an American citizen, would be concerned. Because Donald Trump is the kind of guy to sell any of that information for a bag of tuna or a book of stamps. And I do really mean that. It's dangerous for America to have Donald Trump in some kind of environment where he can share the information. He's already shared that information with members of Mar-a-Lago and others, so why would he not do it if it benefited him somehow in some way in a prison situation? Now, that's actually something that I have never thought of. And Michael Cohen, as we all know, he got convicted and he got sentenced. So we're talking about a guy who not only as a lawyer understood prisons, but as a guy who, had been there. He knows how it works once you're on the inside. Whatever you can do to make your stay more palatable, whatever you can do to gain an advantage, whatever you can do to get a pack of ramen noodles. And I'm not using that lightly. Actually, according to reports, ramen noodles have become like the #1 currency used in prisons. So yeah, that is a thing. But Cohen understands that if Trump wanted something from another prisoner, he can't say, oh, I've got billions of dollars outside. The billions of dollars didn't do anything. Give me something else. What you got right now? Well, would you like to know how a nuclear submarine works? Would you like to know where they are? Now, your average prisoner, obviously, you can be like, well, what do I care? Like, I'm just a guy from, Washington, D.C. Like, what does this matter to me? But there will be people in that jail who will have connections that can use that information. And that is a very real danger. So instead of putting Trump in jail, Michael Cohen says the preferable thing would be, a very strict home confinement. Well, the issue I have with home confinement is if Donald Trump is just sitting at Mar-a-Lago all day, because that is his home, he's basically sitting in a swanky resort, playing golf all day, hanging out at the pool, eating at his fancy restaurant there, but most importantly, having access to social media, being able to bring in members of the conservative media to interview him on a regular basis. And what's going to happen when he does those interviews or puts those posts on Truth Social? He's going to whine about being a prisoner. He's going to talk about how unfair it is, how poorly he's being treated, how ridiculously hard his life is. And his supporters will once again become irate and enraged and possibly act out because of it. And at that point, with nothing to lose, Donald Trump may just say, screw it, I'm going to straight up tell them to go out there and riot. So I do get the danger of putting Donald Trump in prison, but I think the danger of not putting him in prison outweighs the danger of having him in there. So I say, if he's convicted, lock him up. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.